how do you recommend someone today get started in data science?
I mean, I think that's a really important question. And I make a video on this every year because my perspective on it changes basically every year. So
Mhm.
historically, I would tell people just, learn enough coding to be able to start a project and get your hands dirty as quickly as possible. And I think that can work. I think hands-on work and projects are one of the most important things you can do. They're one of the things that allows you to make the most growth in a short period of time. But it also isn't necessarily the best way to start because it can be unbelievably intimidating. And I think in the past I wasn't being I was maybe being a little too hard on people that they couldn't get through that initial phase. So I think the first thing that's really important is some meta learning around what data science is. What does it
Mhm.
entail? What tools do you use? What pathway do most people take to learn the discipline? And so something as easy as going through like 4 or 5 different online courses, not taking the courses, but just looking at the curriculum and seeing how they
Right.
structure it and what they teach. Just understanding, hey, these are the domains. You're going to need XYZ math. You're going to need to learn these concepts. These algorithms seem to be popping up a lot. Okay, I can make sort of this meta learning roadmap for myself to be able to approach this domain. Next, I think it's really important to learn how to program, right? I think coding allows you to apply a lot of the math that you'll eventually need to learn as well, right? I look at it as, you know, if I'm trying to remember something, right? If I'm trying to take notes or whatever it is, it's a lot easier if I have a pencil to write it down and to understand it and to solve problems than if I don't have any tools to apply the information that I'm learning. So I have always, and I recommend this. It's not for everyone. Some people are like, you have to learn statistics first, yada yada yada. It's just not how I see it. But if you can code, again, you can apply all this math. If you want to understand how randomness works, you can create randomness using code and look how it
Mhm.
creates distributions or whatever it does, right?
Mhm.
So to me, just the ability to use tools to be able to build things is something that's been integral in my life as a data scientist and as a lifelong learner. So that's generally the next step that I would recommend. After that, I would then historically say jump right into projects, right? This time I learned my lesson. So the next thing I would recommend doing is actually reviewing other people's projects, looking through the code,
Oh.
understanding how they work. And something really cool you can do is you can just copy and paste from other people's projects and tinker with it, right? So you run this function and you tweak it a little bit and see what happens, right? That's a really low risk, low effort way to understand the mechanisms that are going on and to be able to digest it and evaluate it further. If you really want, what you can do is take someone else's project and expand on it, right? That could be your first project. It doesn't have to be this completely new and novel thing. You could just be taking someone else's work, giving them credit, of course, and then iterating it a little bit, asking additional questions of the data with this framework in place, and then solving it in that way. After that is when I think you should really get your hands dirty with the data, start building projects, start exploring, start reading research and applying it into projects. And then that sort of iteration loop keeps going with the getting learning, meta learning, getting your hands dirty and reviewing other people's work. Just keep going through that path. And I haven't gotten off of that hamster wheel yet because this domain is something where you are constantly effectively always learning. There's no place where you're like, oh, I'm done. That's it. I've learned
Mhm.
everything there is to know because
Mhm.
tomorrow there will be a new tool. Tomorrow there will
Mhm.
be an innovation in the technology and the algorithms that we use. So, if you establish those habits and if you get into that mindset, it can be very valuable for longevity in this career and for your overall success.
I love that. Great tips. So, meta learning about what the field is, learning how to program, reviewing others' projects, and then digging into your own projects.
Exactly. And
Um,
repeat.